Going on, everyone? I'm continuing the Outer World straight from the last episode, and I honestly have been fucking annoyed with this.
Here they come!
This is so fucking stupid. It's like, this is on the easiest difficulty. This is on the easiest difficulty. Keep that in mind. Then tell yourself, do you want to fucking play this stupid shit? Finally. Hibernation chamber. Let's end this shit once and for all.
You traitor!
That was easy.
Thank the law you're here. That madman was out of control. You were right to put him down. He was too far gone to be of any use to us. And what about you? You aren't hurt, I hope.
He died trying. West, if you didn't know.
Why shouldn't I be interested in the well-being of my finest agent? Not to mention my most valuable investment. You've put down the worst riot in our history. Rid the colony of a dangerous madman, and saved my life. The board owes you a tremendous debt. We don't have a moment to lose. I would like not. We've 2 years.
Earth's gone dark, and you've been covering it up for 3 years?
The colony deserves peace of mind.
You mean... we're all alone out here?
You sound frightened, Miss Holcomb. We're alone, Captain. That's all I know for certain. Whatever happened... Yeah, you're the it's time.
From now on,
I
I'm running the
support your
show.
decision wholeheartedly. You've proven now more than ever before Halcyon needs strong leadership and we're on our own now. Earth.
So I'm the leader?
The MSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan.
We beat the game.
But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The riots in Tartarus ended in a total victory for the Board. Without any significant threats to challenge their power, the Board asserted their control over the colony. The Lifetime Employment Program began immediately, and the people of Halcyon did exactly what they were expected to do. They obeyed. Sophia Akande converted the labyrinth from a prison to a processing center. She jettisoned the original colonists out of the Hope and transformed the ship into a massive storage facility. One by one, the workers of Halcyon surrendered themselves to the program. They arrived.
So we
with
beat
their
it.
families,
Not to
their
beat it on the
friends,
lowest
their
difficulty thing,
colleagues,
because it was
and
so
their
AIDS.
neighbors. And then, one by one, they marched into their stasis chambers. As the workers of Halcyon slept in their hibernation chambers, their settlements became ghost towns, left behind by the Board to be reclaimed by nature. Only Byzantium remained, a shining beacon of civilization in an otherwise abandoned colony. The people of Byzantium spent the rest of their days gorging themselves on their stockpile of resources. As for the workers of Halcyon, they never felt the effects of the collapse. They never felt anything at all. Left unchecked, the war on Monarch consumed both MSI and the Iconoclasts. And when the sulfur cloud settled, only stragglers from both factions remained. Some found their way to Sublight, some to Terra 2, and some lived their final years fighting for food in the wilderness. In the end, only the beasts remained. Over the years, the ruins of Edgewater caused irreversible environmental damage to the landscape of Emerald Vale, owing largely to the presence of toxic compounds in the town's building materials. As for Edgewater's former workers, their remains provided a source of nourishment for the region's fauna, leading to an explosion in the Sprat population. Junlei Tennyson struggled to maintain the Groundbreaker's independence. Mechanical failures forced her to make increasingly uncomfortable compromises to stabilize her ship. The Board bought her out of the Groundbreaker one deck at a time. While she kept the ship intact, her role as captain became a symbolic one. As smaller settlements were swallowed up and their workers drafted into the Lifetime Employment Program, Byzantium continued to thrive. While its citizens lived in decadence and extravagance, a small cadre of scientists worked to solve the nutrition crisis that threatened Halcyon. No one else much noticed the townships that disappeared from the map, or the luxuries that slowly lost their luster year by year. As the Board reasserted control over Halcyon, Felix came to realize that his life as an upstart rebel had come to an end. The Board's victory crushed any hope for a grand revolution across Halcyon. And
Yeah,
so
Felix, he took an
once
L.
again found himself without a purpose in life. And so, disillusioned with his former boss and with nowhere left to go, Felix left his crew without saying goodbye.
Good, bruh. We
Never
don't
heard from
want
again.
your ass
Though
anyways.
Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. And she often wished aloud that her dad was still alive to teach her about the finer points of starship care and maintenance. As the Board began to roll out their Lifetime Employment Program, Parvati was plagued by dreams of freezing to death. She began taking increasingly longer shore leaves, and she eventually disappeared from the Unreliable entirely. The Board never knew what became of her, and under the adjutant's orders, they never tried to find out. Parvati was afforded a measure of peace and left to her own devices. Before his untimely death, Captain Alex Hawthorne had plans to restore and modify, for combat purposes, a sanitation and maintenance automechanical that he'd found in a state of disrepair in Emerald Vale's scrapyard. That unit remains broken down and forgotten, in the Unreliable supply closet to this day. Though Minister Clark was eventually released from house arrest, long years of isolation left him a changed man, little suited for bureaucratic work or for the colony that was changing around him. He remained in his estate largely by choice, fading from public view. Adjutant Sophia Akande was instrumental in executing the Lifetime Employment Program. Following the death of Chairman Rockwell, Sophia Akande served as the loyal adjutant to her former freelancer, now the most powerful person in Halcyon. With Halcyon's workers suspended in a state of hibernation, starvation
0 to
and
100,
chaos
bro.
are
We went
problems
from
of the past.
a bum to the leader of
Lifetime
the board,
Employment
bro.
Program succeeded in its goals.
But we did have to turn the
But that
difficulty
success
down, I will
came
admit.
at a price. The Halcyon of today is nothing at all like the colony of yesteryear. Power remains concentrated in Byzantium, but all the colony's resources serve the lifestyle of the elite, thereby transforming Halcyon into one of the smallest and most exclusive colonies in the system. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. With Sophia Akande as your adjutant, you returned in triumph to Byzantium. All of Halcyon was yours. In time, you demonstrated a talent for leadership that far surpassed your predecessor, Chairman Rockwell. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years to follow.
Yeah, we made that
and
chairman
helped
look like a
ensure the
bitch,
colony's
bro. We did
survival.
way more than him. And took
No
his
one
job.
knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Game over. Shit, okay. We made it to the end, guys. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you guys have a great day or night. Drop a comment, like and subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. And peace out, everyone.